and welcome to GearBrain. My name's Alistair, and in this video I'm going to be looking at two new smartwatches from Mobvoi, the TicWatch E2 and the TicWatch S2. First off, let's have a quick look at the design of these two smartwatches, and you'll notice straight away that they are very, very similar. The quickest way to tell them apart is the bezel. The E2 has a simpler bezel around the outside of the display, whereas the S2 has a slightly sportier look. But apart from that, they are pretty much identical. The only real difference is the shape of the button on the side of the watch, which doesn't affect the way it works at all. And also the S2 is said to have military-grade drop protection, and military-grade sort of strength, I suppose. So it's less likely to be damaged if you drop it or if it comes into contact with something, which is reassuring. I'm not sure exactly how that is quantified by Mobvoi, but it's nice to know that it's there. Both watches are water resistant to 50 metres or 5 atmospheres, and that is key really because these two new watches have a new feature from Mobvoi, which is swim recording or swim tracking. What you do is you open an app on the watch, select the length of the swimming pool. I think 25 and 50 metres are the defaults, but you can put in whatever length the pool is, and then that way when you start swimming, the watch knows when you get to the end and when you are completing the next length, which is it's a nice thing to have if you're a regular swimmer. If you're not a regular swimmer, these are still pretty good watches for general fitness tracking. They both have a heart rate monitor on the back. They both run WearOS operating system from Google, so of course they have the Google Fit fitness and health application suite. Both watches also have integrated GPS, which is quite rare at this price point. Remember, these are cheap watches for smartwatches with as many features as they have. The E2 is $160 and the S2 is $180. Now bear in mind the Apple Watch and the Samsung Galaxy Watch cost $300 or $400. It really makes these pretty good value for money. So to see embedded GPS is a great thing. That means you can leave your phone at home while you go for a run and the watch will track your location, and then with that it can work out the elevation change of your run and that kind of thing, which is it's nice to have. Other similarities between the two watches include the display, which of course is circular and has a diameter of 1.39 inches. That means the watches are quite large. They're 47 millimeters across, which is pretty big for a watch, and especially the S2 with its slightly bulkier bezel. It's a chunky wearable, and if you like that kind of thing, that's fine. But if you prefer a smaller watch, you may find that these are a little bit uncomfortable. Mobvoi claims the two watches have got up to 48 hours of battery life, and as always that little up to part of the phrase is important because your mileage will vary quite a lot. I've been getting around 36 hours per charge for both of these watches, but if you were to go on a long run with GPS and the heart rate monitor constantly reading, then that's going to fall quite a bit. I think realistically, if you include a gym session or a run in your day, then you're probably looking at closer to 24 hours of battery life, which is fine. It's par for the course, and it just means you have to charge your watch up each night in the same way you probably charge your phone up each night. The performance of these two watches is adequate, but it hasn't been particularly impressive in the week or so that I've been using them. Yeah, they work, they're fine, the app's open, but they're a little bit slow, and sometimes the UI does some weird things, like it misinterprets a touch input, or there's just a pause for a moment and you're not sure whether the watch is loading an app, or if it's crashed, or if it's doing something else altogether. But remember, these watches are $160, $180, so I can't really complain too much about the UI occasionally glitching and apps sometimes loading a little bit slowly. So to summarise then, these two smartwatches do represent really good value for money. They're less than $200 and they have a lot of the features that watches costing twice as much have. That's great. I will say that the software is sometimes a little bit glitchy, a little bit slow. Apps sometimes take a few more seconds to open than I would like. The displays, although they have a decent resolution, it's 400 by 400 pixels, they just don't look particularly sharp, which is a shame. And the design, while perfectly adequate and they feel tough, like I said earlier, they're not the most imaginative of designs. They look fairly basic. But having said that, if you're wanting something more subtle, then perhaps these are the right smartwatches for you. Again, getting back to that price, that is the reason you would buy these. They are cheap. They are pretty good for the price. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the new TicWatch S2 and TicWatch E2. Thank you very much for watching, and do make sure to subscribe to the GearBrain YouTube channel and click on the bell icon, because that way you'll be notified every time we publish a new video. We'll see you in the next one.